Hello and welcome to Bothering Strangers 30 Minutes Max Edition with Max Hearing. I'm Max Hearing. My guest today is an Instagram model and an influencer. We once upon a time took a geography class in college together. I guess today is Taylor Lynn.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
How's it going?
It's good. It's going good.
So you're out there in your high-rise apartment.
Yeah, I am. Denver, Colorado. Mile High
Yeah,
City.
everyone says that we struggle after college, and I guess that's just you're doing great.
Yeah, I hope so.
So this is two polar opposites. I'm in my childhood bedroom, and you're in, the high rise in the Mile High City.
Yes.
Can't can't be any different.
Hey, it's a living.
It's it's a living. Yeah, you could say that. Modest. That's modest right there. Jeez, it's a living. Yeah, okay. So, you're an Instagram model now. You're an influencer now. How did that happen?
Gosh. I started modeling about 2-3 years ago, and I was modeling kind of in just Kansas City for fun for students at KU within the photography school. Not really getting paid for it, just kind of hanging out. And during quarantine, I started TikTok. And I was doing kind of an anonymous thing where I was only showing like my eye or my lips, and I was doing beauty tutorials. And I did a duet with a very famous TikToker in India, and it overnight my TikTok blew up. I went from maybe like 500 followers to like 35,000 followers.
Wow.
And I was freaking out and talking to my family. I'm like, what do I do? Like, oh my God, like this is huge. So I decided that I was going to prepare myself. I was going to revamp my whole TikTok to become solely focused on modeling and influencing. So I erased everything and I just started brand new, announced it on my Instagram. And from there, then my Instagram blew up too. And I went from about 2,000 followers to 5,000 followers in a month, 2 months. And now I'm just slowly rising again because I lost a lot of followers after TikTok got banned in India and China.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Mhm.
I, I didn't even know it was banned.
Mhm.
So you lost all these followers on TikTok,
Mhm. Yeah.
and have you gained are you still working on bringing those back up?
On TikTok, not so much. I'm more focused on Instagram right now, and being Instagram model, Instagram influencer. I honestly don't even go on TikTok that much anymore. It became really too much of a time waster, and I kind of needed to just at this early stage in my career, I needed to focus on one social media channel, and I decided to go with the one that I knew I had the most support in, which was my Instagram.
That's interesting. That's not traditional, because I feel like everyone's always saying go as many, go on as many platforms as you possibly can.
Yeah, well, I've so well, inside secret about
Oh, here we
influence.
go.
Yeah. Is it doesn't matter how many followers you have. What matters is your engagement level.
I knew you were gonna say that.
So my engagement levels for 5,000 followers is, depending on what metrics you use, 20 to like 25%.
Very high.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like very, very high. And so I've had a lot of brand deals and a lot of sponsorships because companies want to make sure that when they're putting money into an influencer, somebody that they've never met, they probably will never meet, um, like me, they want to make sure that there's going to be some profit come back on that. And when you have like 500,000 followers, you're not doing ads for petty cash. You're doing it for a lot of money versus someone who has great engagement but lower number of followers. They tend to take whatever's given. I think is very typical in the industry.
Yeah, yeah, you are. Yeah, you're a little in between there.
Yeah.
I've done some. I had an internship where I actually had to for a magazine where I had to research micro influencers.
Really?
For fitness.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Fitness is definitely a great one. Fitness and food, because those are very localized.
I do love the food ones.
Yeah. And so like we've got one here, it's called like Denver street food or Denver food scene, or maybe those are two separate ones. But I follow both, I'm pretty sure, and they're like amazing. And
Denver food scene.
Yeah, I believe. I hope I'm not
wow.
Name they come at me.
So you're saying that you didn't come here with your research ready on the Denver food influencing game?
No.
Wow. Get with it.
I end up like me and my friends always end up going to the exact same place all the time.
The same restaurant?
Yeah, we stay in the same like area usually, which is kind of like the neighborhoods of Cherry Creek or Lower Highlands. And it's just, you run out of restaurants in that area. We always go to the same ones just because those are our local spots.
when something's reliable though, when you know restaurants like consistently good and like reliable, you keep on going there.
Yes.
I think that's why people keep on going to CBK.
CBK.
California Pizza Kitchen?
Oh, I've never been.
Oh, maybe it's only a California thing.
No, I've seen it in Colorado, but I've never gone.
I'm gonna slight them. It's so overrated.
Oh yeah.
The food tastes the same every time. It's so like each time, and people keep on going.
Yeah. It's consistency that kills.
But it's not the consistency I want. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't expect to come on here to just go after CBK, but they need to step it up. They need to step it up. So we talked about before this how in traditional modeling, not Instagram modeling, that women and men, and you usually need to have a certain look. So for women, they need to be very tall, and you just don't kind of fit that look. But it seems like it's changing though. So what's your goal as far as traditional modeling?
When it comes to kind of my end goal in my modeling career, I want to be the first petite high fashion runway model.
First one.
Yes, first petite high fashion Native American Hispanic runway model.
Well, after this podcast, yeah,
it's gonna happen. I'm gonna blow up.
It's so popular that you'll just have to do it.
Yeah. So in the industry, you're right. Yeah, there's usually or at least runway, being tall is a very big part of it. Unless you're doing a petite runway or there's a very specific theme in which they need someone who's short or shorter than runway, it's usually very tall women. In terms of men's standards, they usually try to be between like 5'10" to 6'4", but most of the male models I've met have always been over 6 foot. Honestly, I would say that modeling is a lot more to do with personality, attitude, and how you take direction.
Ooh, it's like acting.
With how you look. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Although acting has to look too.
Yeah, you're acting, but like it's like you're frozen acting. You know what I mean? Like you may not be the best looking person ever, but you could definitely be a model as long as you're able to take direction. Honestly, that's probably the biggest thing, is if you can't take direction, it doesn't matter. Like, you're out.
So you're saying I have a chance?
For sure.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. There it is. What do you think the value of mental toughness is in an industry like modeling?
Oh, high. Yeah. Like, that's another thing. You have to go in knowing that you are the only you there is in the world, and that no one else has your look, and that you're proud of it. And if you go in and you're unsure, you're not confident, it can eat you alive sometimes, for sure.
What do you think the role Instagram's played in modeling, where, up until not that long ago, to be a model, you really needed to be, like for a woman, you need to be very tall, like we were talking about. But now with Instagram, they're hitting every demographic in terms of like their sponsored ads.
Yeah. Well, with Instagram modeling, it's a totally different ballgame.
Right.
Because you or a friend tend to be the photographer. It's not a professional photographer. It's not somebody giving you direction. It's you knowing your angles and what you like. When it's a professional photographer, he or she is going to tell you what to do. And you have to take that direction, and you can't change it to what way you want to look. I mean, I've definitely done photo shoots where I'm like, oh my God, I look horrible in that. But that's what the company, the client, whoever wanted. With Instagram, it's your own little world. You can create whatever you want. If you're good at the smolder, you can do a smolder. If you like to smile with your teeth, like, body angles and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing too is filters and Photoshop are a big part of Instagram modeling. And while it's not like they don't play a part in professional or agency modeling, it's definitely two different worlds, for sure.
We talked about this like before recording, how everyone has a look in terms of like what someone, a woman, or maybe because of model, because they have something different about the way they look, like you said, someone with like a scar.
In high fashion, runway, couture, basically anything outside of commercial modeling, they're definitely looking for something that makes you unique. And a lot of times when you're looking at advertisements, you see a woman and you're like, oh, she's gorgeous. But if you really like study that photo, you'll start to see it's like, oh, I see, like, they picked her because her eyes are like this very, very deep brown that I've never really seen before, or very, deep blue, whatever. Or her nose is really, really small on her face, and it gives her this very distinct look. Sometimes it can be like very, very large ears or very large teeth. And yeah, like you said, I know a girl who her signature look is that she has like cuts in her brow. And it's amazing. And she is an amazing model and highly wanted in the industry because she has such a unique look. I don't know if I'd have the balls, honestly, to cut my eyebrow. And also it's copying her thing. So
It's not a natural scar.
You know what? I don't know. I've never actually like really asked. I just see it all the time on her.
Mystery. You don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I know. She might be doing it herself, or it might be scars. I try not to get too close to her, like with the pandemic and everything going on.
I recommend that. You don't want to be coming within like 6 inches, just analyzing scars. Like, you start interrogating her, like, where'd it come from? I need to know.
Exactly.
I know for yourself, being mixed race, obviously I've heard that offers a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. So you're like native, Hispanic, white. Has that helped you a lot?
Yeah, definitely. Being not only just in my looks, but being culturally diverse is also a big thing. Because they know that I'm able to understand the way that they want their campaigns to move. A lot of campaigns are trying to move to a very all-inclusive. We want everyone a part of this, and I've experienced very little prejudice in my life, but I have a lot. But my family members have. Most of my friends have. So I know from a slight personal viewpoint what I should be doing on set, and that definitely sells it. And then looks wise, you can tell that I am definitely not just all white,
Right.
especially when it comes to any kind of modeling. Most people are able to recognize um, race and ethnicity pretty quick within the industry, especially photographers. Um, and so for me, I have very high cheekbones. And I have very long legs. Like I think they're like they're a stronger ratio of like my legs make up my whole body. Am I saying that right?
I just think it's like not proportional. Is that what you're like the torso to the legs are longer? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody's torso is shorter than their legs, right? But mine are like
Yes.
they're extra long, which helps a lot in photographs because if you shoot me from a down angle, I usually look pretty tall. So
And you're and you're not.
no, I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, I have photos in my portfolio where it's like I look like I could be at least 5'8" or something like crazy like that, as long as there's nothing around me. Like,
And yeah,
well,
then they'll sell it all together. How
yeah.
how tall are you?
I think my agency says I'm 5 foot, but I think I'm 5'1". You always want to round down with height.
What advice would you give to like an aspiring model, influencer, whatever it may be?
So for an aspiring model who wants to do like modeling in an agency and stuff like that, build your confidence and know that if you get turned down, it's not because you're ugly. It's because you're not the look they're looking for. And it doesn't matter what they say. If they told you were ugly, then you don't want to be with them anyways because
Yeah.
they're mean to you. I've never actually even heard of an agency saying that. I'm sure it's happened before, but they usually just tell you that you're not what we're looking for. And that's okay. There's that. And then the other thing is aspiring model, if you're a girl, don't wear any more makeup because you really won't be. Makeup just causes so many more problems. So make sure whenever you're going to an agency, no makeup, don't curl your hair, nothing, just goes your natural self. And drink lots of water, stay healthy, stay positive, definitely be confident. So that's aspiring model.
Aspiring model.
Yeah. What was the other one? Influencer?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you want to go with that one too.
Yeah. For influencer.
But actually, before you get into this, I mean, what are your I don't know how much we can say about this, but what are your thoughts on the whole influencing industry?
I wish it was more genuine. I wish I could be more genuine in what I say and what I post. Because there have been times where there are products that I didn't like, but I couldn't be honest about it because I'd signed a contract. I had agreed. And there have been times where I really liked a product and what they told me to say about it was it just felt so fake. I feel like a lot of times I come off as fake or ingenuine on my Instagram, especially my ads, and it makes me so uncomfortable to be that person. And I wish I could get out of this industry, but I can't. I'm in it.
Hot take.
Yeah, hot take for sure.
Hot take.
Yeah, so I wish that it could be more genuine, and I think it'll eventually get there, but probably not in my career lifetime.
Another hot take. Okay.
Right?
I didn't expect this. I didn't expect you to go to say this.
I'm like never gonna get a brand deal again.
Unless this is like some form like sabotaging your whole career right here.
Yeah. I wasn't aware of the deal with the devil that I was making, and I made it, so I'm here now.
Why can't you leave?
It's a big part of my modeling, actually.
Oh yeah, they're tied together.
Yeah, everything is tied together. And the other thing is, it's a source of income for me. It's a serious source of income for me. But you have to, at some point, you have to ask yourself, how much is who I am worth? Really, I don't know if I could put a price tag on it, but yet again, I have. With the brands that I genuinely love and care for, there are a lot of them that we have been in the works to get something done. And I think that people are able to tell when you're being real and when you're being fake. And if you go through my Instagram, I think you'd be able to tell like which of my posts I was, forced to say something. Maybe not forced, but
if it sounds scripted, it probably is scripted.
Exactly. Yeah. And then there are times where I'm like, whatever. But one thing that's non-negotiable is always the first line in the caption is always a song lyric.
For you, who do you go to? Do you do like T Swift typically?
It's usually whatever song I'm listening to at that moment. And it's always a reflection of how I feel, for sure. Sometimes it's like a little bit of like a subtweet, like a sub caption, like coming out with somebody. I'm like, I want you to see this. Read it and weep. Anyways, here's this amazing drink I love.
You do have some shock factor on your Instagram too.
Yeah, for sure.
How much hate do you get?
Again, how much time do you have? I definitely get a lot of it. It is, people just need an outlet for their feelings, and they don't know where to go. But I definitely get a lot of girlfriends being like, delete my boyfriend and unfollow him. And I get a lot.
That's on them. That's on them though, right there.
Yeah, I get a lot of guys who message me and they ask me out, or they, tell me I'm pretty. I'm like, thank you, but I'm not available right now to be going out on dates and stuff. And then it's like this onslaught of like, stupid slut whore bitch, and I try to ignore it for the most part. But recently I had an incident. Girl actually went to my mom. She found my mom on Facebook.
Stop.
Yeah, she tried messaging her, and was just.
Do you know this girl?
Huh?
Do you know this girl?
I've never met her, but I met her boyfriend, and he and I were like acquaintances. We met at like the lake one day, and she was just coming at me from every single angle. And I told her to stop, and she didn't. And finally I was like, I think that day I lost it a little bit, and I posted everything she'd written me in the DMs. And
I do remember that.
Yeah, the comments she made on my photos, and I was like, don't, like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. It was yeah. I mean, I've had people message my family members, for sure. I've had people tell my brother, my sister things about me that weren't true or were true and were supposed to be private. Yeah, it's definitely been crazy.
I hope I'm famous enough for that one day. You know, once people start hating, you're like the first time I got like a dislike on a YouTube video, I was like, what? But like, yeah, that's like that means someone's paying attention enough to be like, I don't like this.
Yeah. You know, I thought, like I said, I thought it was what I wanted, but I feel like I walk on eggshells every single day with what I say and what I do, even with just like people I know. I'm like, oh God, but like if, you know, what if they're gonna tell like one of my followers that I said that, and was that okay to say? And, you know, like I'm making a joke about like, oh yeah, well, you know, fuck Trump. Or like, oh, sorry, am I allowed to cuss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are.
Okay. So, oh, fuck Trump, or fuck Biden, or, you know, fuck capitalism, whatever. And then I'm like, oh my God, is that going to come back to haunt me someday? Like it's a serious worry, because, you know, a lot of influencers, we have group chats, we talk, and shit gets real fast. And that cancel culture life it's not where you want to be. For sure.
This is the dark side of the industry there.
For sure. Yeah.
Everyone has known there's a dark side, but this is like, it's just some heavy like dark stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's not what at all what I thought it was going to be.
You thought it was more glamorous, right?
Yeah, for sure. And there are, I mean, don't get me wrong. I make it sound like I'm living in a hell. Get me out. Like
I see your apartment. That's not true.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there have been some huge perks for sure. And I mean, it's definitely gotten to the point where, you know, it's not about the money. It's about, you know, the like, oh my God, like you know, there's brands that I work with where I'm like, I use your product every day already, and I just am so excited to be working for you. And there's cool like outfits I get to try on, and all of these things that I get to do that not everybody gets to do. And so many amazing people that I get to meet through this. So it's definitely not all bad, but it's like anything else. There's pros and cons, and you just got to be willing to accept the consequences and the reward.
There was a lot to unpack there.
Oh my God, yeah.
I did not expect it to get like this.
I'm sorry.
No, this is exactly why it started 30 minutes max. It was so there people have the opportunity for it to get like real and deep and raw and talk about truthfully an industry that we as people that aren't in it know nothing about.
Yeah.
So in this case, influencing and modeling, but you know, like just whatever it may be. So thank you for opening up about that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. It's like the first time we talked since like geography.
Yeah, I know.
like 3 years. Like I was in like my sophomore year class. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I got the message, and I was like, is this that dude from geography?
Is this that dude who was never paying attention? I was just always I was cracking jokes the whole class.
Like, is this that?
Before you go, where can we find you?
Every single one of my social medias, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok are all at Taylor, TAYLOR _TJ2.
And find her
is Taylor dash. Never mind. Take out the Venmo part because it like includes my last name, my real last
name. No Venmo, just Taylor _TJ2.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's where you can find the influencing that she likes and doesn't like.
Yes. Yes. And I'll never tell you which ones.
You'll never tell, but we'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know. Thank you for coming on to Bothering Strangers 30 Minutes Max. Thank you for letting me bother you. Follow Taylor at Taylor _TJ2. Follow me at Max here at Max Hearing 1. Follow both of us. Follow Bothering Strangers at Bothering Strangers on Instagram. Add me on LinkedIn while you're at it.
Don't add me on LinkedIn.
don't but add me on LinkedIn.
I'll decline.
Yeah, you'll be like, nope, that ain't it.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Of course. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for listening. Everyone have a good night.